What do I want? I want the truth! I want justice! I want...
I just finished watching today's episode of Invincible, and honestly, it was absolutely amazing. One thing I really like about this season is one specific character, and that character is Powerplex. And there's two reasons for that. Reason number one, Aaron Paul. I mean, Jesse Pinkman, Todd from BoJack Horseman, all those characters, amazing characters, and Aaron Paul is a very good performer. And I think this might be one of his best performances so far as well, but that's my opinion. Let me know what you think about it. But also, Powerplex is kind of saying what should be said about Invincible. It makes sense that people are skeptical about his true loyalty, about his true intention. And Powerplex brings up that question more than once, and it's completely fair to do so. Yeah, he's kind of broken, and you can see that he's mentally unwell, but he definitely does make some pretty solid points, and I think that's why the character hits so well. In the last episode, we only got one episode to get introduced to him, to get to know about him, and then the climax of the fight between the two. In one episode, all of that was laid out, and I think it was laid out very well. Maybe with a little bit more time it would be even better. Maybe if they put a lot of time into the writing throughout the season and it's a character that was built up, it would be better. But this was still amazing, even though we only got to see him in 2 episodes so far. And what's also very interesting is the fact that he was kind of praised like a hero for most of this episode. In the ending of the episode, when New York is being rebuilt, we see him standing there amongst the other heroes. And he does have a heroic look. He looks pretty satisfied about saving people. But then he sees Mark and his rage is just uncontrollable. He just has this rage boner for Mark. And it's fair. Angstrom also has a pretty big rage boner for Mark, but he is like a lot less realistic about it. His reasoning is hard to imagine. I could not imagine getting 50 people's different memories popped into my head and then seeing one Mark as the source of all of that. I could not imagine that. He is like beyond human at this point, but Powerplex is still very much human, and I can relate to him a lot, honestly. I think it's a great character, and I think this season is going very well so far. Now, it's cool that we've been introduced to Conquest, and I've heard and seen in the comics that he's pretty ruthless and pretty strong, so I guess we're getting a pretty good fight, hence the reason that the animation in some scenes of the last episode weren't that great. I hope we'll be rewarded this time for that. But honestly, the part that I'm most excited about is seeing Alan and Omni-Man return to Mark, reuniting, being the awesome trio that they are. Like, the cinematic universe of Invincible is honestly more interesting than we give it credit, and spoiler alert, Rex dying in the last episode was also a pretty big hit, and the fact that people care about that shows that they really can write. The narrative is great, and I am completely fine with getting less animation but more seasons, than as opposed to, of course, waiting 3 years for another season with great animation. This is awesome, the narrative is great, and I think they're adapting the narrative from the comics into the show very well as well. And I'm now constantly out of breath because I've been recording for 3 minutes straight and I've been saying so much, and I'm so excited about this show, and I want to know what you guys think. Obviously, I have a lot of personal attachment to the show. My best video on this channel, in fact, has been an Invincible video, so maybe there is some bias there, but I really want to know what you think of Invincible, if you think this season has been a banger so far, if it's better than Season 2, if it's somehow even better than Season 1, I would argue not, but like, Season 1 is just very hard to peak, in my opinion. I want to know everything about your opinions about this show. It's such an amazing show. I love it so much. I've said it for 5 times now. If I say the 6th time, you're gonna have to subscribe and like the video, okay? This show is awesome. Anyway, I love you guys. See you around.